Welcome to the Voices of the Goddess podcast. We believe that there is a goddess inside each and every one of us. When we use our voice to share that goddess, we support and uplift each other. Join us each week as we interview women to receive the message of their goddess within.
All right, so welcome. We are so excited today. Today is kind of like a special day. We've got a very special guest. Not that all of our guests are not special, but I digress. My name is Allison Mancini. I am the Wellness Warrior, and we are so happy you are joining us today.
And I am Julietta, the Magical PT. Thank you all for joining us on our Voices of the Goddess podcast. And this is where we give you all lots of amazing tidbits of knowledge that will support you in becoming the goddess you are meant to be and achieving all of your goals. And Allison is right. Today we have a super duper special guest. We have Marty on today, which Marty is our first male guest on the show. So Marty, for us to invite a man on the show, this means you are super special. So we are so happy you're joining us today. Can you please introduce yourself to our audience? Tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. Thank you. And thank you for having me. What an honor. Wow. That's awesome. So you're making me all red. Actually, I think it's the lighting, but we'll go with that. So I'm Marty Elberg. I'm a bucket list attorney, is what I say. For people in Florida, for people outside of Florida, I'm just a bucket list coach. So what that means is I help people live and die with no regrets. Can help you plan for your death and incapacity and plan for your best life possible.
Awesome. And I've done Marty's bucket list workshop, and it's so much fun, and it's a great tool to motivate you to get important things done in your life. We're also focused on work and everything, and we forget about other things that fill our souls and make us special and create a lot of joy in our life. So check out Bucket List for sure.
I love that. Wait, did you catch that when Marty told about himself? Men are so straight to the point. This is what I do. This is what it is. We women, we go on and on what we do. This might be our shortest interview. No, it won't be, but
because you and I are still here, Allison. We're gonna
We'll keep talking.
Perfect.
So it's time to dive into the questions. Are you ready, Marty?
Ready.
All right. So our first question is, what is your superpower?
My superpower is positivity. I don't wake up every day like this. And my wife gets aggravated at me every once in a while because I wake up and I'm like, okay, it's time to get up. And she looks at me just smile and be happy. Fake it. It's not fake it till you make it. It's actually create it. I believe you can create your own happiness, and we are responsible for creating our own happiness, which is where the bucket list blueprint comes in. It's really creating happiness around everything you do in life, whether it's your work, your family, your finances, your community, whatever we're doing, create some happiness. If you don't know how, there are lots of little tricks. So, I do my little positive self-talk mantra every morning and every night before I go to bed. I don't watch the news, so that helps with creating happiness. So eliminate negativity really does help you with your positivity, because you're not being bombarded every day with negative all day long. So create your own positivity. That's my mantra. That's my superpower, because I can do it.
I love how you just said, not watching the news creates happiness. That is so true because watching the news creates fear, creates worry, creates anxiety, all that stuff. I don't do any of that anymore either. Julietta knows I'm a little bit at fault. I do just catch a little snippet of what's going on in the world because I like to kind of know a little bit.
But, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you're the source of that power. you get to go see what you want to see. Maybe you'll catch a headline and, oh, I want to read about that because that actually interests me, or it's not 10 people died, and I did catch that headline the other day. So, but I didn't go read the whole story. It wasn't flashed in front of my face when I didn't want it. I just saw it as scroll and I was like, oh, that sucks. And I feel really bad for them, and I'm not going to let it affect my happiness. Sorry.
Exactly. No,
not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. I have not watched the news much for many, many, many years. And I don't remember, it was some like spiritual, metaphysical, self-help book that I read probably over 30 years ago. I don't even remember what it was, but I do remember them saying like one of the best things you can do for yourself, for your happiness, for your well-being is to stop watching the news. And I was like, awesome. I never liked watching it anyway. Now someone's giving me permission and a reason not to do it. And so I haven't. And it's so funny to me how many people like have given me a hard time for not paying attention to the news. And they're like, how will you know what's happening in the world? And I'm like, well, the most important world is what's right here, right now in front of me.
Exactly.
And because that's the only piece of the world that I can truly affect. And I know that how I treat this world right in front of me will have a ripple effect out into the rest of the world. So whatever I can do to create as much positivity, happiness, love in the world right in front of me is the best that I can do to create any kind of change out in the world out there. And on top of that, like, between social media, talking to people, like you're always going to find out what's happening in the world, and you can do it without creating harm. And I think, and I am babbling about this. I have so much to say because I am pretty passionate about it.
I can just do short answers. You're right, Allison. Just short. Toss it out there for you.
You just feed us and we'll like talk about it. But when this became so real to me was 9/11. I was at work where it happened, when it happened, and, where I was working at the time, we didn't have any TVs, and our office staff was on the computer because that's where they did, scheduling and that kind of stuff. But, they would pick up little bits from online, and then our patients coming in would like tell us about what was happening. But it wasn't until I went home and my husband was there and he had a friend visiting from Argentina, and the two of them were like frozen in front of the TV and they looked like zombies. Mm-hmm. And and they had sat there the entire day in front of the television watching this over and over. And, it's like they just kept replaying the planes crashing into the tower. And myself, like I sat and watched it. And I mean, I remember like after just a little bit, I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. And I wouldn't watch it, but the whole world was sitting there watching it and I could see like what was happening to everybody. And I'm like, this is not good for people. Turn off the news. I don't care which channel it is. It doesn't matter if it's CNN, MSNBC, Fox. I don't care. Like, are you blue, red, whatever. Stop watching the news. It's the best thing you can do for your happiness. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox and stop preaching. But thank you.
Yes.
Glad you agree.
It's true.
Glad you agree. Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to the next question?
Sure.
What will Marty feed us to talk about this time? So the next question is, what is a book that has greatly influenced your life?
Oh, there are a few. And to be honest, to reveal a deep secret. It's not really a deep secret. I didn't really read a whole lot until the last couple of years because I've read so many law novels.
I'm imagining.
Case books. Yeah. So I didn't do a whole lot of reading outside of work. But I did start reading, and it's really been business books. Most recently, 10X. So I've been following Grant Cardone now for a little over a year, and I read the 10X rule. And I was like, wow, even as a bucket list coach, I'm not thinking big enough. I'm not dreaming big enough. I was dreaming pretty big, especially when I compare myself to others. But reading that really put it into perspective of I'm just not doing enough, and I started doing more and more and more and more, and it's been a huge influence in over just the last few months. I think it was like September I read it. Actually, I did it on audio. So
audiobook is phenomenal, and
yeah,
I was really
great.
resistant to it until about 3 years ago. I had to read some books and only had a certain amount of time to do it in, and it's like, where am I going to find this time? And it's like, oh, when I'm in my car, that's when I can find this time. And I thought I wouldn't like it, and I actually ended up loving it. And now that you're saying that, like, I'm also going, wow, I can't believe that I haven't read 10X, and so it's going on my list.
Yep, 10X rule.
Isn't Grant Cardone in Miami?
Yeah, Aventura.
Yeah, I thought so. I knew because I know some other trainers that have actually flown in here to work with him, which is a pretty price tag, but yes.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good stuff. So.
Yeah.
We need to 10X Voices of the Goddess.
I've already been thinking about that earlier today. You didn't see what Bonnie sent us stuff on how to market our podcast. Oh yeah, that's the next step.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Next, and I'm really curious about this answer from, the male-female perspective, but what is your favorite self-care practice, Marty?
Oh, it's my favorite and my most dreaded. It's getting up every morning at about the same time. Alarm set at 6 o'clock, and it's Monday through Friday. Saturdays, Sundays I sleep in. But Mondays through Fridays, set the alarm at 6 o'clock. I get up. Well, actually, before I get up, I do my little mantra to myself, and then I do a couple little stretches. And then once my stretches are done, I'm out of bed, jump out. That's it. It's like the 1, 2, 3 rule. Have you ever heard that? It's you count to 3, or it's the countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, blast off. So that's what works for me is that I do 1, 2, 3, out. And then I start being happy. I start making myself happy because I do not like getting up early. And then I go work out. And I don't feel like it. I walk out in the living room. I sit on the little seat and groan as I lean over like, I'm still stiff, and put my shoes on and I go out. We either go for a walk or I go to the gym. We do whatever we're doing. But if my wife goes with me, we go for a walk, or she'll go walk on the treadmill while I'm working out. And that's my biggest self-care is really just getting out there and getting moving right away. And it really gets my blood flowing, and I feel so much better just into the day, just to get my day started like that. When I miss a workout or even just a walk, I can totally tell the difference. I'm lethargic maybe throughout the day, or don't have my energy boost. So self-care, take care of yourself, exercise.
I'm right there with you. I actually have to, like, if I don't get, and I don't, Julietta knows this. I had a big milestone birthday recently. I turned 50, and I used to be like, I know, right? And I used to be
join
like
the club. Welcome to the club.
I know. It's actually quite liberating.
Cool
I'm
club.
pretty excited about it. It is a pretty cool club. I know a lot of cool people in this club.
Yeah.
So I used to be like the major, like go to the yoga studio and go work out at the gym. Like I was all, and there is nothing wrong with that. But I just think your perspective kind of changes as you get a little bit older, and just what you want to be priority changes. I still believe movement is a huge priority for everyone, even if you're just going for a walk, going for a swim, walking in nature, like we talked with another person we interviewed, whatever it is, but get moving. It is so important to move your bodies. We sit around far too much. And it's not how we're meant to be. It's not good for you. And I love your 1, 2, 3. I need to start trying that.
1, 2, 3. Blast off.
Do you know how many times I hit snooze? I'm terrible.
I hit it a couple times. Confession
not
time.
In your
I
club,
hit the snooze
people.
a couple times, and it's like,
No, Julietta gets right up. She doesn't empathize here at all.
I'm the morning person. I normally wake up anywhere from 15 to 5 minutes before my alarm goes up. I'm now I don't I'm not a huge like conversation person in the morning. Like I like quiet in the morning, but I'm good to get up except for we just changed the clocks and I'm like, why do we keep doing this? I can't get up in the morning right now. I'm like my alarm is waking me up and that makes me
Right.
a little, it like puts me off. So I think I need maybe I need to do the 1 2 3 and give myself some positivity ones in the morning. But and I don't know what it is. Like this year it's taking me longer to adjust to this time change. But I want to know, who do I need to do what to
the petition to get rid of this
Florida tried, but Congress
No.
said no.
I know.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But anyway, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on positivity, people.
Positivity.
Yes.
Maybe if we're all sending out positive vibes about it, it might happen.
There you go.
Okay.
But make sure you're doing it on the right thing, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I hate daylight savings time," which is standard time, because when the clocks go back in the fall. So we're on daylight savings time, and most people like daylight savings time. So
we
could
should
be a
just
problem.
keep it now and
People
not
are
fall
arguing back and forth about what they want and what they don't want. We should keep it forward, yes.
Honestly, I don't care whether it's forward or back. I just want to stop changing. That's all.
I don't like when it's dark at 5 o'clock, so I would rather have it get light later.
Well, just wake up earlier then, Marty.
But it's still going to be dark at 5 o'clock.
Anyway, so we say I love daylight savings
not in the
time,
morning. Yeah.
and I wish it was always daylight savings time. Is
There
that
you
what
go.
you want?
That's
All
what
right.
you. Yep.
I'm on it.
There you go.
Yes, because we always, and I talk about this a lot with my clients, and I'm talking about what do you want, and they're like, I want to not be stressed, and I'm like, you understand when you say not be stressed, your brain hears stressed.
Right.
So you don't want to say what I don't want. You want to, whatever that is in the positive, you want to say, I want that. Like, I want peace. I want relaxation, whatever. So
I just heard this a few months back. Saw the study, looked at the study, saw that there was somebody gave a TED talk about stress, and everybody's worried about stress and how bad it is for you and how it causes death and everything. Well, there was a study that disproved that, and I don't remember the study, so I'm not a medical professional like Julietta.
But you stayed in a Holiday Inn Express last night, right?
But yeah, right. So just recognizing that you have stress and treating it as a positive, as opposed to fearing it and being afraid of the negative impacts of stress.
Absolutely.
Will drastically change how your body reacts to it. So if you say, "Oh, I'm in a stressful situation," okay, take that and run with it. I'm at a deadline. Okay, good. I understand that I'm under stress, and I'm going to use that energy to get my task done. Not worry that, oh no, I'm so stressed. It's a totally different spin on it.
That's the same idea as when they tell you if you have a fear of speaking, that same feeling you get is the same. I'm not going to say
fight
this
or
right.
flight. It's fight or flight.
But that feeling that you get, like if you're nervous to do a speech or to do a presentation, that feeling you're having is the same feeling that excitement is too. But you're taking it in as fear. So if you just sit there, I've done this too, because when we used to, we're all in BNI, so we all know this. When we used to meet in BNI in person, and when I first was president a year ago, and the first few times I had to go up in front of the whole chapter of 40 plus people, was a little nerve wracking. And in my head, I sat there going, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get up in front of all these people, because the feeling's the same. Yep. Your mind is looking at it a different way. And that
helps. Perspective.
It is perspective. Yeah. I love this.
Which is why you just look at stress and go, "Oh, I'm excited to get this done. It's a situation, and I can handle it."
Yep, for sure.
It's not going to kill me.
Totally. All right, it's time for question number 4. How do you create accountability in your life, Marty?
Oh boy. So I've had a business coach for the last, I don't even know how many years, 6, 7 years. That created accountability in my business. Being a solopreneur or entrepreneur, I had a couple employees here and there. But that was always a point of checking in, making sure I'm doing what I'm doing for me, and my company and my family and whatever I'm doing. So I've always relied on a coach and a coaching system, and tracked my activities. So my measures of what I've accomplished every day, every week. So I look at all those things, and I know how many people I've talked to. I know how many people I've signed on as clients. I know my workflow. I know where everything's going. So having a written record of what I've done and what I'm going to do, huge accountability for me. I have everything in my calendar. If I look over, it's like a rainbow of everything I have going on. It's in my phone, it's on my computer, they're all tied together. It holds me to what I said I was going to do. And I look at it and I make sure I get it done. Or if I can't get it done, I make sure I communicate that I'm not going to be able to get it done. So it's just really important to me to communicate that. Like, I was going to go to a lunch today, but there was no way I was going to fit in. Sometimes I try to do too much, but I canceled early enough so they knew I wasn't going to be there. So accountability to myself, accountability to others, to my systems. It's just, I've got to have a lot of things in place to keep me on track. Otherwise, it's like squirrel, shiny object, squirrel.
Same. You know, that's interesting that you bring that up, because I think, and Julietta, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first time someone has expressed the use of a coach for accountability, which Julietta and I have both used coaches, and I'm currently using a coach. So I know that a lot of us use that, but I'm surprised that hasn't come up in any of our interviews yet. Because
I know, yeah.
I feel like everybody uses coaches now. Who doesn't use
and
a
now
coach?
I'm a coach.
And
I'm
you
a
are a
coach. I'm a
Coaches
not a
need
life coach,
coaches.
not a life coach. I'm a bucket list coach. It's a tangible life plan, not just.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. You need to expand on that a little bit, since we're on this conversation of coaches. Because you were just like, tell us a little
sure.
bit. It's really fascinating what you do.
Here's my snippet, right? Because I'll give you snippet answers, and then we can blow it up with the conversation. So I help people create, articulate, and put into action a holistic bucket list for them to live a more purposeful life.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, like it was really cool going through his workshop. Like literally, like first we'd make our list, and then he would make us like choose like an actionable step that we were actually going to take that week towards that bucket list item.
Right.
And,
so the workshop set up where we talk about and it's based on the My Bucket List blueprint. All right. So the My Bucket List, 12 letters, 12 different categories. Most of them people don't even think of. Most people, when they think of bucket list, travel. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. It's not just travel. Travel's the last category. It's the last T, but it's My Bucket List blueprint. You want me to tell you all the categories? Do we have time?
We have time.
Just rattle them off. All right, let's do it. All right. So M, meet your personal hero. Y, your proud achievement. B, buy that something special. U, ultimate challenge. C, conquer a fear. E, express yourself. T, take a lesson.
Okay.
Where am I, bucket?
You forgot K. You forgot K.
Oh, I forgot K. Kind acts for others. C, conquer a fear. Spelling is not big for me. Spell check is always there. C, conquer a fear, kind acts for others, express yourself, take a lesson, leave a legacy, which is how I tied in the estate planning with the bucket list in the first place. I, idiotic stuff. S, satisfy curiosity. T, travel adventures.
That's really cool. Okay, so tell our audience a little bit about, I have a couple questions. Are you doing workshops in person right now? If not, how are you doing them? I'm assuming Zoom. And how long is this process if someone wants to work with you? Is it a one-time? Is it 6 months? What is the deal?
Great question. So right now, everything's on Zoom, unless somebody wants to do a corporate type of a training in person. I'm okay with doing that. I'm actually going to get my vaccine on Friday. So we'll be set to do that. So in person is what I was doing pre-COVID. Then I changed over to Zoom. It took me a little while to acquiesce and say, okay, I can do this on Zoom. So there are introductions, and I think Allison, I think you popped in for one introduction I did a couple months ago, and that's just an overview, half hour, 45 minutes. And then we've got my bucket list board workshop. That's 90 minutes on Zoom or 3 hours in person, just because of the way it's presented. So that's a one-time thing. And then the bucket list life plan, which is what Julietta did. She actually did the workshop as well. And that's a 12-week program or a 6-week program, however you want to put it together. It's either an hour a week or 2 hours a week. I think we were doing it 2 hours a week when Julietta went through the program. So it was 2 hours one day, and then every Tuesday or whatever it was. And then we go through the plan.
I feel like there was something Julietta had on her bucket list, because I remember her calling me about something, and she's like, I got to do this. It's for my bucket list thing. I'm like, okay.
I don't remember what that was.
I don't remember what it was either.
I remember one thing you were supposed to do. You were supposed to do a live or a video every day, a video post every day for 30 days. That might have been what it was. That lasted about a week.
But
hey.
She told me.
Oh,
she told me
okay.
I can do this every day for 30 days. And I'm like, you can do it.
I don't remember if I ended up doing it every day for 30 days, but I did quite a bit.
You did it way more than you did. Right.
It's progressed into this, like
exactly. Yeah.
You know.
So that's where I'm going to look at and cross back over to the 10x rule. All right. So when we make goals and we set them this high, and we achieve them, super. But if we set goals that are this high, and we get to here, okay, I did pretty good. But if we set our goals back to here, and we come to here, well, that's not good. But so setting your goals high and missing them by a little bit is okay. Setting your goals low, really low, and hitting them is detrimental. So 10x whatever you think you can do. And if you don't get it, it's going to push you through it's going to push you through your comfort zone of hitting the goal that you know you can hit. So 30 lives or whatever it was in 30 days, that was pretty big from going from zero. And you did it consistently. I remember you did. You were like, I did it. And we checked in. So we made sure that you're holding you accountable. There's the accountability. And what she was talking about is we take action right away. So here's what you're going to do. Okay, make a plan. All right, great. Now do it. And everybody says,
and that's even, like Allison and I setting this, we wanted to start by a certain date, and we didn't hit our dates, but it's still because we took immediate action, and we had this high goal, and we just kept moving forward, and it got done. We are here today. So this is awesome.
Yay.
Listen, we are we thought this was going to be a short one, and we're actually running out of time. So we need to get on it. So it's takeaway time. And I'm going to do my takeaway first was 10xing. I get the concept, but I want to read the book because it's going to push me to 10x. Maybe it'll even push me to 20x or 100x my body or something, my life or something. So that's my takeaway. What's yours, Allison?
Well, I would say that too, but I'm not going to use the same takeaway. So my takeaway, honestly, you guys are going to laugh, is the 1, 2, 3 and get out of bed. I do. You can ask my husband. I set my alarm for either 5 or 5:30 because I know if I get up that early and I have my time, my quiet time, but this time change has killed me with it being so dark. But I just keep hitting snooze. So I'm going to have to do the 1, 2, 3 and just.
No more snooze for you.
No more snooze.
Well, and so I give myself a 2 snooze rule just because I know. I'm like, and it's okay. I built that in. It's my thing. I'm okay with it. Some people are not. Some people, you hit snooze and you might as well hit snooze 10 more times. So take it and run with it however you want. But use whenever you decide you're going to do it, 2 snooze rule, that's it. No more than 2 snooze, then it's 1, 2, 3 out.
Okay.
So what's your takeaway, Marty?
My takeaway. Wasn't I the one talking? So, my takeaway is I can do short segments and we can make it go forever.
That's a good takeaway.
When you have great hosts, your guest doesn't really have to be that good. So it works out.
Oh my, we love you, Marty. So Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It was a lot of fun having you here. And Allison, you got anything you want to say before we close out the show?
No, I would just tell people to definitely check out what Marty's doing. Like he said, I did the intro workshop, and I think my plate was overly full at the point, but I definitely need to circle back and jump in on that bucket list because, my husband and I, we both hit 50, and, he even said to me the other day, he's feeling a little like I need to get things going. Like we've had some friends.
Time to start ticking it before you kick it.
Oh yeah, tick it.
Right.
Pick it before you kick it.
Yes,
Pick it off the box before you kick the bucket, before you die. There you go.
And it's true, because we've had some friends that have just found out recently that they're very ill or they haven't made it. And so we're like, we need to get on the move. Okay, we're running out of time. I'm sorry, I could keep going. I'll stop.
Yes, so thank you, Marty, for joining us. Thank you, all of our listeners who've joined us. And if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our podcast. We'd love to get some reviews out there. So please review us and share with your friends. And if you want links, how to find out anything that we talked about in the show today or how to get in touch with any of us, you will find that in the show notes. So have a magical day, everyone.
Thanks, Marty.
All right, thank you.